Hello, thank you for being in a new video. This time we have an unboxing of the ZTE Axon 60. Let's get started. This is the standard model. Remember that there is also a model below it that is called Axon XX Lite. So the launch price in Mexico of this device is $3,699. On screen you see the reference price in dollars, so you have an idea. But remember that the prices here are not the same as over there. Join me then to take this device out of its box to get to know it. In fact, on the back it anticipates us some specifications. We have 6.72-inch screen, quite large, with full HD plus resolution. Front camera of 32 megapixels. On the back, the main camera is 50 megapixels. After that, the other two are just for decoration. The processor says it is octa-core. I'll tell you the specific model in a moment. It comes with Android 13, 256 gigabytes of storage. This, I think, may become one of its most attractive points. And it comes with 5000 milliamp battery with 22.5 watts charging. I think it is a simple cell phone acceptable for the price range. The most attractive thing will be its storage. And let's take a look at the first thing we come across. It's this little box that comes with the key to remove the tray. Then we find the quick start guide, very short. And finally, the case that comes included, which is totally transparent, totally flexible with semi-rigid edges. A cover that is fine. It's appreciated that it comes integrated with this type of accessory, because the vast majority of people are going to use this device with a case. So, if you are going to buy it anyway, it is appreciated that it is already included in the box. Let's see what else we find. Here's the phone, and again, here are some points that the manufacturer wants to highlight. As we already saw, the storage. It has triple camera, although I would only consider the main camera. And then there's the battery and the charging. And note, here is the design. In fact, it reminds me a lot of the Axon Lite, which already came with this camera layout very similar to the iPhone. Also on the sides, notice that it comes with a fairly glossy and reflective finish. Possibly that appeals to a number of people. I prefer matte finishes more, but that's the finish we found on this device. Pretty reflective all around, in this case in the purple edition. We see that the power button comes with this orange accent color. Let's put it on power and we see what else comes in the box, because we're appreciating the contents here. It's simply the cable, which is a little bit short. From USB-A to USB-C, and finally the charger, which we were already anticipated to be 22.5 watts. So that's the contents of the box. We're going to put all of this away again and focus on the cell phone to get to know its specs one by one. I already have the device configured, and as you will notice, it is already a custom and tradition that ZTE has a very close collaboration with the most popular phone company in Mexico. Personally, I don't like that it comes with these backgrounds and too much bloatware, so let's start by changing the wallpaper. Afterwards, notice how it comes with many Telcel apps. In this case, Claro Drive, Claro Games, Claro Music, Claro Pay, Claro Shop, Claro Video, and also the Conteston and many other things. So the device comes with many pre-installed applications that I personally do not like, although fortunately you can uninstall them. The screen has a 6.72-inch diagonal with full HD plus resolution, but it is an LCD panel. Obviously, being a low-cost device, we were not expecting a screen of too much quality. If you view the content from the front, you're going to have a good display, but if you view from the side, notice how it loses quite a bit of brightness. In this case, it also comes with a feature called Live Island. Obviously very inspired by the dynamic island of the iPhone. So we are going to find some special animations with some system applications to make it look nice. It has mono sound and it does come with a headphone jack. I think it's what we could expect from a device in this price range. It includes a fingerprint reader on the side. On this button that I already mentioned to you, it has an orange highlight. The front camera is 32 megapixels with f-aperture 2.0. Here we have the preview before taking the picture. Notice there are a lot of completely burned out areas in the background. After taking the picture, it makes a better balance of several of these areas. Although there are still some other places in the photograph that are still a bit burned out, so it doesn't seem to have an ultra spectacular photograph in terms of dynamic range. And the resolution I think is good for maintaining a good level of detail. On the back we have 50 megapixel main camera with f1.8 aperture and then 2 decoration cameras. This is the macro camera and this is the depth camera of 2 megapixels each with aperture f2.4. Here I have some test photographs. This is the photograph with the main camera. I think the result is positive with good dynamic range, considerably good colors. Then I applied zoom 5x digitally, but the result doesn't seem to be so detailed. And the maximum is 10x digitally. But again, it doesn't seem to give good detail, especially on these objects that were moving in the wind. So the camera is possibly simple. This is the result that the macro camera can give us, which as you can see is a high level of detail. And if you didn't know what the color is in real life, you might say it's a very good photograph. However, look at what the main camera gives us. It brings back the original yellow color seen in real life and maintains a good level of detail as well. Possibly not as high as the macro camera. So I would not take pictures with the macro camera, but only with the main camera, mainly because of the color. Because the macro camera picks up very pale color, but the main camera, the colors, I think it picks up with good quality. Video recording can be in full HD at 30 frames per second. It has a 5 mAh battery with a 22.5 watt charge. The charger is included in the box. Although in the video review we will do a different test to more or less see if the battery performs what it should or is above average or below average. Also remember, we'll do a separate charge test to see how long it takes to charge from 0 to 100, so don't miss out on all that content. It offers 6 GB of RAM, so it could perform very well with another virtual 10. Although extended RAM is perhaps not so recommended, at least from my point of view, it's not that useful. Especially since with 6 GB of RAM, it should have pretty decent performance in the price range. I think it's okay. But the highlight is the storage that reaches 256 GB. For this price, I think there are few devices out there today that offer you that capacity. Obviously, it will not be a storage with a lot of speed. In fact, the manufacturer does not communicate whether it is an eMMC or UFS storage, but do not expect it to be a very fast storage. The most important thing here will be the capacity to store things and not the read or write speed. And speaking of speed, the processor is the Unisoc T616. A processor that we have already tested. In fact, ZTE has used it in several devices. It is a not very famous processor, but let's give it the benefit of the doubt to see more or less against what other processors from other brands its performance could be compared. It's 8 cores in total, so I'll come back when I'm done with this test. We already have the results here. 447 points on single core and 1,574 points on multi-core. With these numbers, we can say that it would be better than the Snapdragon 680, than the MediaTek Helio G85, even also than the G88 or the Snapdragon 685. So it's a processor that honestly looks good. I know it's not very famous and some people have had bad experiences with Unisoc processors, but it depends on the Unisoc model. This one specifically I think has good power to compete in this price range, but we'll put it to the test in the video review where we're going to play games, run various applications, and a lot more. For now, we've come to the end of this video. I hope you liked it. If you did, you know you can tell us, and we'll see you next time.